and this is Diva's 2 Cents. We air every Friday at 4 p.m. Central Time, and if you've been watching us, please like us and share us. There's a lot of people that need to hear this. Today, I am so excited. I have with me a guest that I met a couple of years ago at a particular speaking. I think it was an audition for a speaking engagement of some sort. We met in Tennessee. I've kept tabs with him. We've kept in touch, and it gives me great pleasure and honor to bring him to you, the audience, so that he can tell you who he is, what he does, and who he does it for. I am going to tell you he is a life and business coach. So if you're out there looking for one, take a listen. He's also a realtor, and I'm a realtor too. And being a realtor is an underrated title because we work hard and we work fearlessly, and he does too. And he has a team, so we'll ask him a little bit about that. Without much further ado, let me introduce to you Mr. Brock Zevan.
Hi, Diva. How are you?
Hello, sir. Hello. I am so happy that you're here with me today. Tell the audience who you are and what you do.
So, well, you kind of spilled the beans on the some of the highlights, but So, as my intro is, you were on my podcast, and it was great called "Figure It Out Friday," and sharing some of your behind the scenes and what you've been doing in your life and how you figured it out and your story. And, so I do podcasting. I am a life coach, business coach, real estate agent, and a DAD. I got 2 young whippersnappers, my 5-year-old son, Bryce, and my 11-year-old daughter, Brielle. Both have a birthday coming up in August. Brielle's is the 19th and Bryce is the 21st. So all smacked into to each other. So they'll both grow old within 2 days of each other. So they are my why, my life, and they keep me going in my world. And so I do practice real estate. I do a lot of wholesaling and investing, and I do coaching and speaking pretty much across the country. And just been blessed to be able to have the second chance in life to help other people and to share my experiences, to give people that maybe that inspiring type of momentum. Maybe they're feeling down and out, and so those are kind of all the shoes and hats I wear.
Oh my goodness! You see, I have a group, a women's group. We're about 202 of us now.
Wow.
Every one of them I know. They've just joined, and it's called Embodying Your Identity. So I understand when you talk about different identities, why you have to have different identities. But you have a unique one, and I tell everybody why. You get up very early in the morning, and you have a podcast, and you just said the name of it. It was figure. What is it?
So we each day has a theme, but the one that you were a part of was on Friday. It's called Figure It Out Fridays.
Wow. So what motivates you, Brock? What really motivates you to get up in the morning and do this? I mean, everybody has to have that passion in them. But what drives Brock to do this?
A lot of people know me as being very competitive, but the real reason why is my vision is to be successful and to work any place in the country and to not be set in like a certain office. I want to work anywhere. I want to travel. I want to do things. And so when I started looking at those type of people, they make 7 figures and above. And when I study them even more, so they fit where their work environment, they fit the goal of financially, they have a family, they travel, they bring them with them when they're doing their working, and I always wanted to know, just like the Tony Robbins, the Michael Jordans, the athletes of the world, the CEOs of companies, your top bigwigs, your celebrities, all these people, they always got up with a 4 in front of it. And I really didn't want to get up at 4 a.m. And I thought 4:59 might be cutting it too close. So I get up at 4:30 in the morning. And it's just because I'm driven to be like them. I'm driven that their vision is part of my vision, and it's just part of a strategy. It's part of their anecdote. It's part of the reasoning of what they do. So I'm like, well, if they do it and it works, why am I like? This is when I let my ego out the door and be like, why am I going to think that getting up at 7 is going to be it? Because I tried that way, and that plan didn't work. And so, as Jim Rohn says, if that plan doesn't work, why do you keep on that same plan? Like, why don't you try a different plan?
Uh-huh.
And so I did, and so that is the plan that worked for me. So so my alarm goes off every morning at 4:30, and I tell people, like, I'm not excited when that alarm goes off. I'm not really that excited, but the bigger vision for me to get to where I want to get, that is the simple compound effect of doing it and getting up at that time every morning.
Wow. Okay, so everybody that knows me knows that my why is I never want to be hungry. So I do get up early. I get up just as early. At 4 a.m. I'm up and I'm about, and by 8 o'clock I think I've conquered the world and I've just began. So who do you do this for? Do you have agents that you strive to reach so early in the morning? Do you have clients? I mean, who is this that you're doing for?
So, I mean, for me personally, it starts with my kids, which are my why. My family is, I think every parent, just like my parents, I remember I'm blessed and fortunate that my car that I have right now has Wi-Fi, has 2 TVs. The kids have remote controls in it. It's like, as my dad calls it, a driving hotel. It's a brand new car. And then we were talking to and we stayed at a really nice resort at Myrtle Beach in Oceanfront. And the reason why I say it is because my dad, he was telling me in the car, he goes, you know what? He goes, Brock, you know where my dad took me? To and we're from upstate New York, farmland. He's like, he took me to a field day that lasted 1 hour, and he spent like 25 cents on me.
Ooh.
And my dad still remembers that. And it was a small little fare, but that's all my grandfather could afford my dad. And then my dad would take us to Cape May, New Jersey at a beach up there, but it wasn't anything nice. We didn't stay on the water. It was, you had to walk several blocks to get to the beach, but I've never been to the beach. But that was my dad's way of treating us. And I think every year, every generation, we want to do something better for the next generation and give them the better living, show them like how to work hard. Like nothing is ever given to us. Nothing. I worked on a farm when I was 12 years old. I worked and so nothing's given to us, and we're never guaranteed tomorrow. And so, like, every day I get up with that same drive for my kids. Like, I want them to have a better life. I want them to have that better future, and to teach them how to do this just like my grandfather did and my dad did, and to teach them the rules of life and how this works. And then when I get past that, I'm blessed and fortunate that I have about 40 to 45 people that join us every morning at 8:15 on my Mindset Motivational Show, and I don't want to let these people down. And because I was drinking and drugging and womanizing during this period of time in my life when I was making bad decisions, I said, you know what? You can make good decisions. Every day you made a bad decision, because we all get choices in life. Every single day we get a choice. So I do my podcast 51 out of 52 weeks a year, every single day. I do it 245 times a year. I do a podcast. It's a lot. That's why I have so many virtual assistants, because they got to help edit, manage, and do all this stuff. But it's the other people that we inspire and motivate, and like, I can imagine not being there.
Yeah.
So they drive me.
So you see, 40 to 50 people, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of personalities to manage, so to speak, right? And to still have that motivation to get up and go. Our Coach Bird always says you got to go, what is it? You go to bed full, but you got to wake up hungry every day. You got to get up hungry every day. So you've got to have that in you. Otherwise, you won't be consistent. And what I have found in following you is consistency. All right? And that's so important. what do you find in your industry that that your agents are going to have to do different in the future? Like what's going on with the industry itself, whether it's the coaching industry or the real estate industry? Give us some insight as what you see that's going to change or different, something different that you're going to have. Your whole team is going to have to adapt to do things different.
Absolutely. So trying to unpack that, a couple things. One is I appreciate the compliment. I used to be like, that's all you think of me is I'm disciplined, but I didn't realize the magnitude of what that is or the lack of what people have when it comes time for discipline. Like you can do it for a day, 2 days, a month, but it's constantly doing it day in and day out when you don't want to do it. And, what we're seeing in this industry is convenience. We're seeing more and more people on cell phones. We're seeing more and more people just like on social media and platforms, the path of least resistance. Jim Rohn says more people work harder on their jobs than on themselves. And to be honest with you, they're not working really hard on their job. So if they're not working hard on their job a lot, then you can only imagine what they're doing to themselves. I think we have a big affordability problem across this country, whether you're in real estate, gas prices, groceries, whatever that might look like. I was just at the beach last week and we were standing in line at the bar and I was getting the kids some food and the bartenders were like cash or credit, debit or credit. And I'm a very big believer when I got through my financial pinch and buying and cars repossessed and house foreclosed on and IRS debt out of the yin yang, I was like, I want not to really use my credit card ever. I just want to use cash. I just want to use debit. But I was standing in front of them and I'm like, debit or credit. Well, hence why we're in this the largest credit card debt we are in this country. Over, I don't even know, 1.7 trillion, I think it is. We just topped off at the maximum amount because the affordability to survive in the United States is crazy. And so how does that affect the real estate industry? Is you have to have the knowledge to be able to understand that when you got interest rate at 7%, you got the 10-year yield that still continues to flirt around that 4.6%. You got the all these different things, the lack of inventory. The home values continue to rise anywhere from 4% to 6%, depending where you are in the country. The last 3 years has gone up 15%. If you don't understand your market, that's like if you went to heart surgery and you said, hey, doc, I'm ready to have surgery. Tell me a little bit about what do you think we're going to do? Not really too sure yet. This is kind of my second time doing it on the job here, but I think what we're going to do, you'd be like, whoa, time out. Yet as real estate agents, that's what we do. Well, I just thought I'd put it on the MLS and, we price it out and just hope and pray somebody buys it. They just don't really understand, and people don't understand themselves. So the complexity of what I do, it's like learning to understand yourself. People listen to understand, not to respond. Everybody just wants to say their 2 cents because what they saw, and they're too lazy to do anything else. So it's just like, well, this is what I'm going to do, and everybody else is doing it, so might as well. And on the real estate industry, they carry that because they're not understanding the market, understanding the strategies and the skills, and then you throw NAR into the mix on what's taking place with the whole buyer lawsuit. They don't even understand it. They're like, oh, I thought it was supposed to happen in July. I'm like, no, it got moved to August 17th. What does your buyer agency look like? How are you going to sign this? How are you going to get paid? It's not a buyer commission anymore. It's called a seller concession, and you're going to need to know that language. Mm-hmm. So, sorry, I can keep going on.
No, that's good. This is good because I have a lot of followings. A lot of my following are realtors, and a lot of them are in a catch-22 situation now. A lot of them have always been buyer's agents, and this whole NAR is just so confusing. And depending upon what podcast you listen to or who you listen to, even between brokers, there's so much misinformation or lack of information, for a better term, that it's kind of scary for some. And some of them have left the industry. They have gone back to, 9-to-5 jobs, and I know some of them that have done very, very well on the buying side, and now they don't even want to deal with this, So, can't blame them. It's just change, and I think that for those of you that are out there listening, Brock has said 2 things very important that I just heard. The first one is, change is evident, right? You're going to change. You just have to, the way you look at things is going to change if you change the way you look at them. So embrace the change. The second thing he threw in there, he used the word credit. Now, Brock, what time do you have your podcast in the morning? Is this something that you have to be invited to? Is this something that anyone can opt into? Do they have to reach out to you? Because I want those realtors that are out there that have credit issues to get on your podcast and listen to Mr. Chad Free, especially if they have credit issues. I don't want any realtor, and I've always said it, I've had my little 2 cents about get rid of your credit cards, cut them up, do whatever it is. But if you have anything to do with credit issues, get on Brock's podcast and seek out Mr. Chad Free.
Yeah, so Chad, he does his videos, or he's in charge. He leads on Tuesdays from 8:15 to 8:45, and he's the money mindset. And then we have another girl, her name's Rosario, and Rosario works literally on people's credit. I'm actually one of her clients on credit card debt. Not only credit card debt, your credit score. So we have Rosario that does the credit cards and builds your credit, and Chad is the money mindset that helps build your wealth with purpose in life. And so, yeah, definitely come on, and I can give you the link. Maybe Rika sent you over the link, but yeah, anybody's more than welcome to join it. We have different leaders each and every day from the Tim Story group, Michael Burt, Rebecca Black, all these people, Mike, as you know, Coach Burt, all these people, they're the ones that we're all cut from the same cloth, and we're all in that same environment. And so different leaders. Tuesday, Derek Green, he's another one that leads on Thursdays. So I lead Mondays, and then the rest of the team is leading Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, and then we do Figure It Out Friday. But yeah, please come to it. And the real estate agents, I also do coaching at 10 a.m. called Power Players, and it's free for every single person. And that's when I actually do my role plays. I'm very big in for sale by owners and expireds, and how to create business and conversations. And then the book I just wrote, Turning Scripts into Conversations, that helps people being able to have the right words and language to use.
Wow. Hold it. So you also coach the realtors, right? The
majority of my clients are typically real estate agents. 80% of my clients are agents.
Okay, so what is this book? Because you just threw that really fast. Now listen, guys, you gotta be really like this when you talk to Brock, because he throws little nuggets here and there. What is this book about? Talk to me.
So I just finished the book. Rebecca Black, who is part of Tim's Story, she helped me publish it, but it's called Turning Scripts into Conversations. And I take formulas. One of the formulas is called OFQ, and it's about opening, facts, and questions. And we use this to apply it until you can provide a solution to solve somebody's problem, i.e. Michael Burt, who shared with us money exchanges hands when problems are solved. And many times people just don't understand people's problems because they didn't give them the appropriate facts to be able to dive a little bit deeper, peel the onion back, go deeper, not wider type of concept. And so listening to understand, using people's personalities. I bring in the DISC assessment with Tony Robbins with a bunch of different activities. And then we use a lot of validating. And then we create solutions for people. Just like if you were to go to a doctor and you're sick, the doctor gives you a solution, prescribes you medicine, and then you follow that. If you don't follow it, what happens? Your sickness carries on. I create the same type of concept in the real estate world. I've been blessed and fortunate to have a conversion over 90%.
Wow.
Because I just understand people. I listen to people, and I literally make majority of my money from strangers because that's how I meet them.
But listen to that. You're turning scripts into conversations. Realtors out there, listen to that. Turning scripts into conversations. That's so important. That's so important, especially for today's realtor that's switching from the buyers to the sellers, selling agents, right? They've got to have their scripts down packed. they have to not make it sound like you're a robot. You've got to
Yes.
know, you've got to go in there genuinely to help the individual, of course. Because if you're not into it, if you're into it just for the money, you're not going to get anywhere. I've learned that a long time ago. Okay.
And people can see through it. They understand, especially when you're talking to people. And you're not even listening, because what happens is you're so focused on your script, and you ask somebody if they're still thinking about selling their house, and they say, "No, my dog just died. I'm just trying to, my family's trying to overcome it." And you say, "Okay, great. Where do you want to move to next?"
Oh my gosh.
Duh. I can't believe they got mad at me, Brock. I just followed the script. I was like, idiot. You didn't listen to them. You stop traffic when they tell you their dog just died. Like, you don't continue with the script anymore. You come from compassion, empathy, and ask them about their dog. How old was the dog? How long did you have the dog? What was the dog's name? I can only imagine. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, yeah. And that's, sometimes we think, and when I listen to some of the realtors, I say, oh, that's a rookie mistake. Because I was a rookie, okay? So, that's a rookie mistake. But you learn from your mistakes. So you just have to build and move on. You make mistakes and you just move on. When we met...
Fail forward.
Yeah. When we met at the lodge, I made a terrible mistake. I thought I wanted to be like the guys, and I started doing... I wrote down everything instead of just being me and just talking and having that conversation. So you just learn from your mistakes and you move on. You just dust. It doesn't matter. You just dust yourself off and another day, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Now, we're going to have, the producer will put your contact information in the comment sections for those of you that want to catch up with Brock, so that you can connect. And for those of you that have credit issues as well, connect there in that forum, because he does have different people every day that can may and may not help you. And then for those realtors that may want to join. Now, do you have a particular brokerage?
I work with Real.
Okay.
So I did my own boutique for a while, and then I did that. Then I went to Keller Williams, EXP, and now I'm at Real Estate. And been there for a little bit over 2 years. And I'm coached with John Maxwell, and he says majority of life we are assigned. And I was assigned in my corporate world, teaching world, when I was a school teacher. I was always told what school I had to go to, what class I was teaching, where my room was. I was assigned, and now I'm actually aligned with the right people, aligned with the right leaders, and it does make a difference when you're aligned in the right environment.
It does. It sure does. Absolutely. Okay, so we're going to put your stuff in the comments. If anybody has any questions, just drop them in there, because I'll be monitoring them. We'll take a look at them. Today we are recording, and we will go live tomorrow on Friday with this, so that you'll have that information. Any last minute tip or any last minute anything that you would like to share? Anything?
I am a very big believer in reference to literally working on ourselves. We have so many distractions in this world. You throw in the election year and the country divided, and people and siblings, and I come from a large family, and even in our large family of 5, everybody has different personalities. Everybody has different thought process, different churches, different schools that your kids go to, and everything else. And let alone if you went in your cul-de-sac or your neighborhood, how many different people are around that. I'm a very big believer that it's easy to get caught up in that. It's easy to get caught up in social media. It's easy to get caught up in all this stuff. Focus on you. Work on your inner self. Understand who you are as a person, because the faster you understand who you are, the faster you can start helping other people, talking to other people, and learning about other people, because you know who you are. You know who you are yourself. And still to this day, I just started a whole new thing that I got to run 2.5 miles every day for 30 days in a row. And it's not fun. But I'm learning about myself, my discipline, and talking inside of myself, and understanding and saying my prayers, and getting myself to me by myself, and learning who Brock is. And the sooner that you're able to do that, or put forth that, many, many doors open, and you start to see things differently. So that would be my thing to to leave people with is work on yourself.
There you go, my guys. Work on yourselves. And that is a wrap. That, my friend, is Diva's 2 cents. Thank you so much. I'm indebted to you. I'll be right with you, okay? Thank you, guys. Take care now.
Thank you.